welcome to Ariel Helwani's MMA Show.
Post-show time on this Monday, December 17, 2018. Hello again, everyone. I'm Ariel Helwani. That is New York Ric. No time for the usual theatrics at the top, my friends, because New York Ric, we have a lot to talk about. And Mr. Jake in the back, who, by the way, all of a sudden, ever since Jake got his promotion, I mean, he is just cracking that whip. The Jake-itude is on a different level. He doesn't even want to, share any pleasantries.
I gotta keep
nothing.
you in check, Ariel.
I mean, it's unbelievable, this guy. He gets a promotion, and he has changed. Has he changed on you, too, or
He's
just
not.
on me?
He's the same old Jake.
Listen, same old Al, not same old Jake.
Both Long Island's own.
I will attest to that. Same old Jake? No, wrong. Same old Al. Okay, we have a lot to talk about. Yes, hello, how are you?
I'm doing well.
Yes.
Al was great.
I need to come down a little bit from today's show because Vitor just left the studio. We had Dominic Cruz just, making me feel like the luckiest man on the face of the earth, as I was going to say Joe Rogan, Lou Gehrig once said. And then you have Vitor Belfort waxing poetic. I mean, I don't even know what to do with myself right now.
Two to put back to back that are bound to inspire.
Unbelievable.
But yeah, great stuff today from everybody.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I wasn't necessarily talking about you,
well,
but
booking the show
as the vehicle for them to deliver that.
Okay, we have a lot to talk about that we didn't get a chance to really talk about at length on the program. I want to start with Bellator in Hawaii.
Absolutely.
I said to Ilima-Lei Macfarlane that I felt like that was the greatest night in Bellator's history. I felt like Bellator grew up on Saturday. I felt like they finally got it right. The Thackervilles of the world, the Mohegan Suns of the world, like, they are a necessary evil. I don't want to call them evil in the sense that they are detrimental to the promotion. Sure. But, when you go to Thackerville and you have Darion Caldwell, these are just fights. Saturday night in Honolulu, that was magic. That was Connor in Dublin to me. That's what it felt like. The stars aligned. It was a great card leading up to it, but then to have a local star come out with the emotion and the entrance and then the victory and then the post-fight reaction, that's the stuff promoters dream of. It really is. And I feel like now Ilima is viewed in a different light. She is a superstar. And there's a lesson here, right? You need to take fighters to their hometown in order to get them over the hump, because there is a trickle-down effect. We've talked about this before. It comes through. I was watching that at home, and I can't imagine what it was like in person.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
You can feel the atmosphere. You can feel the environment. You can feel those moments. And Ilima the spotlight was entirely on her and that experience, and she delivered. Now, you say that Bellator grew up from that, but are we not going to return to the Thackervilles? Is that not what's ahead? And we're doing daily and MVP in Connecticut.
That's the problem. I don't like. It's like you're 100%.
I don't feel like it's really a turning point because we're going back to what it was. It's also very difficult. Look, they don't have as many marketable stars as let's compare to the UFC. They're number 2, and you can't always put people in place where they're going to be the hometown hero and they're going to have that moment to shine. It's a difficult thing. Now with MVP and Daly, you do have that opportunity and they're not taking it, but
that would be the same scene.
It would absolutely.
It would be different because it wouldn't all be about one guy, right? In this case, it was all about
now
Ilima-Lei.
It's two. There's 2 fan bases that are coming together.
It gets me so mad. It really does.
It's a difficult thing to make happen. I think when we have the opportunities to do it, or when an organization has the opportunity to do it, take advantage, and Bellator did it properly. No doubt about it in Hawaii.
Oh, my God. Properly. It was a home run.
Yeah.
Now, I'll say the pacing on Friday was a bit of a mess, and I didn't want to openly complain about it because it was about the troops and it was all for a good cause, but they need to figure that out.
It's just... I know there's the Fox pacing. Oh. Now there's the Bellator on Paramount pacing.
Listen,
it's just MMA on TV is difficult.
Is going to be
primo.
There we go.
That's the plug.
Well, they haven't asked me my thoughts yet
on the pacing.
I feel like change is coming.
Yeah,
and it needs to come because we are killing people's love of the sport by like I want to see main events. I want to stay up, but it's hard.
Even the hardcores are finding it difficult to struggle through and to fight through. It's time to do something about that.
So let me quickly run down what happened on Saturday. Lyoto Machida, I think that Bellator jitters are a real thing because it seems like they signed like the same thing like with Gegard. It's happened with others. Bader had a win, but it wasn't
Gegard's first fight was Shlemenko. What was his first fight? Yeah.
It wasn't the greatest Lyoto Machida.
Yeah.
And he talked about being nervous afterwards. In the end, though, he wins. And I thought he deserved to win, but it wasn't a performance that wowed everyone. Neiman Gracie versus Ed Ruth to me was, I was just captivated by that fight. Sure. The All-American going up against, the BJJ black belt on the ground was just amazing. Lee McGeary knocking out King Mo. That's what I'm saying. Like 23 Hawaiians. It had a nice mix of local stars and local flavor, if you will, as Scott Coker likes to do, but also big names.
Yeah.
Michael Chandler on Friday winning. It felt to me like Bellator overshadowed the final Fox show. Bellator was how often is it that Bellator is the bigger story when, it wasn't like, oh, I don't know, who's the biggest star in Bellator right now? Rory Gegard. Like those guys weren't on these cards necessarily, so it wasn't like the A list of Bellator. Don't get me wrong, Lyoto, these guys are big names, but often we'll see Bellator have their A list crew, Fedor or whatever, Chael, go up against a sort of B.
Well,
UFC.
I was about to say, Lee and Iaquinta are a next tier down from.
You say so?
The highest level. Yeah, I would say so. It's not a championship fight.
Lee Iaquinta, who's more popular, Lee Iaquinta or McFarlane Letourneau?
No. Don't get me wrong, certainly. But I'm saying that the UFC's A list wasn't on display.
But my point is, I don't think Bellator's A list was technically on display either.
Sure.
And yet Bellator felt like the bigger card.
I certainly, if you ask me which card would I have rather been at, there's no doubt it's the Hawaii card.
How is it that, I think, who mentioned this earlier? Like, UFC has gone to Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
And they built a makeshift stadium. They've gone all over the world. How have they not figured this out? Bring a smaller card like you did with Conor. That arena is a 10,000-seat arena. It's essentially the same arena as the Neil S. Blaisdell.
But do you do a 10,000-seat arena with Max Holloway when you can bring him to a 30,000-seat arena somewhere else and sell it?
The ship has maybe sailed, but how did they not get this done
that's
2-3 years
a different
ago?
Question. But right now it seems like you're kind of in a middle ground on a few things. One, negotiating the money from the tourism board and all those people to make it happen. Two, the arena that Bellator did their show in seems too small. And then you have on the other side of the equation Aloha Stadium, which might be too big.
Right.
So you're kind of in a tough ground with that. I would like to see an event with Max Holloway in Hawaii. I think it
Could you imagine the reaction?
Yeah.
Look at the reaction of Ilima-Lei Macfarlane, who I think she would be the first to say isn't at Max's level in terms of popularity. Could you imagine BJ Penn back in the day? But like Max today, oh my God.
Yeah, and BJ still fighting. You put BJ on that card. You put Max. You put Yancey. I think there's a recipe there, but I understand why this seems like they're in a tough time to do it. It either needs to be a little further down the line or have happened already.
Right.
So I get it, but kudos to Bellator for capitalizing.
Does BJ Penn ride the wave on December 29th?
Oh boy.
I mean, it feels like it's just set up for the greatest month in Hawaiian MMA history, right? Max, Ilima, back-to-back weeks, and then the return of BJ.
I have no comment on this matter.
You will watch. You say you won't, but you will.
Last time I said I wouldn't, and I broke.
You will.
This time,
he seems to be in a good spot. No Vunyao.
I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna watch because I tried that experiment last time, and I know myself. I'm gonna watch, but I'm gonna be watching like that. And I don't know.
Will watch.
I will watch.
AJ McKee, 13 wins in a row. He's ready for a title shot, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Have Ayala, breaking, I think, Frank Mir's jaw.
Apparently, yeah, something in the upper jaw went wrong for Frank Mir. So
horrible.
Difficult, but good performance.
From Frank Mir?
No, by Ayala.
Oh, yeah, of course. So that was Bellator. And then Saturday in Milwaukee, the final Fox show. And I have to just say, the nostalgia, like everyone's like, oh, Fox, I'm going to miss Fox. Like, you guys have been complaining about Fox on Twitter for the last 7 years. Like, just cry me a river with all the nostalgia stuff, all right?
I think there were some good moments on Fox, but certainly I don't think the last 7 years were...
It didn't turn out the way people thought
it was.
Yeah,
were the revolution that I think
people were
expecting.
Talking maybe about the 8 to 10 big Fox shows. Those were great.
Yeah.
Complained about those. What a performance from Iaquinta.
I mean, big underdog getting it done.
What was he?
Like plus 275 or something like that.
He might be the most underrated fighter in the sport right now.
Absolutely. I think what it is, there's been periods of inactivity. People tend to forget. I know, y'all must have forgot is something you stand by. But truly, I think people forget how good Al is and the level of opponent he's been facing. I'll have to admit, I thought Kevin Lee was going to be able to implement his game plan a little bit more. Now, maybe he didn't actively try to. That could be another thing. It didn't seem like he was going to the wrestling as much as I thought he might have. But on the feet, Al boxed him up. Al did exactly what he needed to do, showed him different looks, and was complete and had a really good performance. So, yeah, Al is one of the most underrated fighters in the toughest division in MMA, in my opinion.
And that 5th round where he just kept coming,
yeah.
got in his face, yelling at him.
He's one of a kind.
Unbelievable. What a performance from Al Iaquinta. And I like I like anyone versus Conor, obviously.
Yeah.
But I like what he's selling here. Like, I like the little package that he's selling, the story, what he said on the show today, slamming the
laptop closed.
By the way, you guys can use that. UFC, you can use that. I mean, we're all family now anyway. Use that. Go for it. By the way, did you notice that they put me in the Thank You Fox package? They did a thank you.
I did it.
I mean, they have to be either trolling me at this point or somehow this slept, this flew under the radar because
somebody
someone was
at the wheel.
Yeah, because I mean, you put my voice is in the first minute of the whole thing. Really?
I didn't know that.
The Fox goodbye. You
That's
put my
incredible.
voice of all people. Jeez Louise. I have to say I was honored, but I think they're trolling me at this
Troll
point.
job?
It was just like a kick
I had
in
no
the
idea.
nuts.
I can't believe that.
Oh, my.
Thank you.
Anyway, Edson Barbosa.
Great performance, yeah.
They should have stopped that earlier, in my opinion. Between the 2nd and 3rd round, Dan Hooker.
He wasn't even on the stool.
He's sitting on the mat.
Yeah.
Come on. He's too tired.
That was tough. And Edson was styling at that point. Like, it was clear that he needed to be out of there. But wouldn't take himself out, which is, what we kind of tend to have happen in MMA. The towel never gets thrown in,
right,
and the referee doesn't stop it, and Dan Hooker is as tough as nails. So that's what we kind of get.
Charles Oliveira extends his submission streak. Rob Font with a win. Jared Gordon was involved in a crazy fight. I mean, that was just bonkers. Juan Adams. By the way, Juan Adams, that picture that he posted, did you see that?
I didn't.
Oh, man. Look up Juan Adams' Instagram after and look at what he had after the weigh-ins.
A celebratory meal?
No, after the weigh-ins.
Oh.
He has to cut. He
he has to cut to make 265. Yep.
Yeah. Just like a very nice cornucopia of things. You were at Invicta.
I was at Invicta on
anything of note?
Saturday. Yes. Yeah, a few things actually. Jinyu Fry in the main event defended her title. She won the title controversially over Mina Grusander, and defended it. So she's now 2-0 in that series. I think we're able to move on from that series of fights. But another close one and another good one. Opening fight of the night, Chantel Coates with a huge knockout. It was getting passed around on Twitter a lot. Really precision striking from an Invicta debutante. That one was one to watch. Anastasia Nikolakakos with a dominant performance. Her Invicta debut, and then the armbar that everybody was kind of talking about, Kay Hansen.
Oh my God.
After getting dominated for 2.5 rounds or longer, 14 minutes and like 45 seconds by Sharon Jacobson, gets suplexed and pulls off the armbar after being suplexed.
That's one of the best submissions of the year.
Yeah.
And I say that because I'm now doing my awards, so it's very fresh on my mind, all the great submissions. That was incredible.
Yeah. Her presence and wherewithal to kind of be in there and strike when the moment was hot after being dominated was impressive. Kay Hansen.
By the way, great transition. December 31st. Let's quickly address this.
Yes.
I announced it officially on the show today. We have done the award show over the past...
Officially, yes, but you had a little tease.
Listen, UFC could do their teases. I could do my teases,
yes.
Right? And by the way, that's a new belt. Everyone's like, oh, I see Canada, I see America. Oh, it's GSP coming back. Really? That's what you guys think? Like, does
the
UFC,
diamonds and things around there?
Does the UFC ever make announcements that way? No, they're rebranding the belt.
Yeah.
Which is nice. It's a nice gesture. It's the new era coming up. It's ESPN, all that stuff. Yeah, give it a little...
Time for a fresh paint.
Sure. Fresh coat of paint.
Fresh coat.
So, December 31st, live on ESPN2, 9 p.m. Eastern to 12 a.m. Eastern.
Right up to New Year's.
Counting down the new year with us. It's amazing. Not only are we counting down to 2019, we're counting down to the new era. UFC on ESPN, and we're giving out awards. Now, if you are a longtime viewer/listener of the program, you know that we like to give out awards either at the end of the year or early.
Right after.
Yeah, it depends on how. But in this particular case, the backstory is Monday ended up being December 31st. So I said, hey, why don't we actually do this in prime time? Count down the new era, count down the new year, give out the awards, special guests. This is going to be big. ESPN2.
Yep. Mama, we made it.
No disrespect to the internet, but this is ESPN.
No disrespect to the entire internet. Yeah, exciting. TV debut. and one of my favorite shows of the year always.
Yes.
Giving out the awards and kind of looking back at 2018. And we've, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was just going to say it's a very tough year. Like there have been years in the past where a lot of the awards, I think it was even last year where DJ was sub of the year and all that. Like there were just a lot of easy ones. There was, I would say there's maybe like one gimme. I won't say what it is.
Yeah, save that.
But I think they're all debatable.
Yeah. A lot of runners up, a lot of honorable mentions. It was a good year for the top cream of the crop in MMA.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. But I am very excited.
If I ask you, and we will talk a little bit more about this on the New Year's show.
Yeah.
But in more detail, but this is more broad. 2018. What kind of a year was it?
What kind of a year was 2018? It didn't feel, there's been years in the past and recently where it felt like, wow, the UFC can do nothing wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's been years that felt like the UFC can do nothing right. And I don't feel like this was either of those. I felt like this is somewhere in the middle. This was the year where some things were really, really good. Some things lined up well. Conor McGregor coming back to MMA is big. John Jones now coming back in December is big. But I also didn't feel like there was any one, huge grand slam type thing that happened. So I think this was kind of a treading water year, to be honest, across the sport of MMA. Bellator had some good signings, but I think that's a continuation of things. So to me, this was a year that felt, like treading water. Like nothing happened in this year that to me that changed the tide of MMA, where that has been a feeling I've had in the past, nor did I think anything happen that was catastrophic. The biggest news, in my opinion, and cite me for bias if you wish, was the new broadcast deal for the UFC.
Sure, and you can make the argument that did change or will change the tide, but I get your point.
But this year,
I get your point for this particular year. Yes, that's something that will be felt next year and beyond. Only one pay-per-view that got over 1 million. Yeah. However, it did smash the record, so that was
record-setting, and that's the one, and then the rest was kind of here.
There, yeah.
That's how I felt.
Yeah, and Bellator's ratings not very good, although the DAZN deal was huge for them. So I agree with your assessment of treading. Like, it wasn't horrible.
No.
It wasn't 2016.
There's the year where every main event is getting canceled. Everybody's getting injured. I didn't feel that either. I didn't feel despondent. I didn't feel despair. It just felt like an average year for MMA with some big moments.
Yes. The drama never ends, though.
No.
As we head into 2019, because there's no great. Well, lightweight is a mess, but that's because we're waiting to see what happens with Conor and Khabib, so they get a pass.
Conor McGregor seems to affect every division in that way. That turns into a mess.
But welterweight is a mess, and it feels like for no reason. Like at this point, we have now talked over the past 2 weeks to Askren, Usman, Woodley, and Covington today, and I don't understand why March 2nd isn't Woodley versus Covington. Like, why are you punishing Covington? Okay, so he couldn't fight in September. All right, Woodley fights, he wins. And now Woodley couldn't fight in January. So just do the fight in March. They're both ready. It's such a big fight. What am I missing?
I don't have an answer for you.
What am I missing here? How in the world is Usman going to leapfrog over the guy you put in an interim title fight?
Is he, though? Is that?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, I said it last week. He put out, anytime someone puts out the signed bout agreement, because I know as a reporter, I mean, you might as well be asking for state secrets if you ask, like, hey, is Zabit really fighting Jeremy Stevens? Like, it's like, oh, I can't possibly tell you.
Yeah.
It's like such big news. I mean, it's just a fight. So anytime someone is willingly going out on social media and showing a bout agreement for the world to see, something's up. And especially when they're tagging, all these different people, something's up. So I feel like this is reminiscent of UFC 205 when Khabib was out there putting out his bout agreement, and it was really Eddie versus Conor, the fight they won. Listen, they do a lot of things that I disagree with. That's well documented. But you cannot bypass this fight. This is too great of a fight. The build is just, this is the stuff you dream of as a promoter.
I would be surprised if that's not the fight. I understand that there's difficulty in pinning down the date and location, but I would be surprised if that's not the fight. They have to capitalize on it. To be honest, Colby Covington's shtick is only going to last for so long. There's only a certain amount of time that has. There's a shelf life for it. Mm-hmm. You have to capitalize on it when it's at its peak.
The guy went to the White House.
And he's right there right now. It's time to do that fight. And Tyron can't do it in January. So I think that it makes sense to do it in Q1.
And it's not like you're screwing Kamaru Usman because he just fought and he told us he was banged up.
Yeah.
And we're not talking about him waiting till May to see who wins. We're talking about 3 months from now, less than 3 months.
We talked about this last week. No doubt, I feel like Kamaru Usman has done enough to deserve a title shot.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
Fight the winner.
Just wait for the next one. And I think that that's how it will play.
Oh, here's Jake telling us 5 minutes. Jake, are you happy that Michael Chandler won? I mean, did you celebrate? What did you do?
I didn't celebrate. It was a good fight.
You said you wanted him to win.
I did.
And are you happy?
I am.
Congratulations, by the way, on the promotion. Am I allowed to publicly?
Yes, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Is that frowned upon?
It's not frowned upon.
I mean, there's so many rules. I don't know.
Oh, stop it.
Was it dependent upon Michael Chandler winning? Did you risk that?
I should have, because it was a lock. Yeah, it was a lock.
I mean, between
like
Iaquinta and Chandler, what a weekend for, and your promotion.
Yeah, Long Island.
Did you celebrate? What did you do?
Went to the Jets game on Saturday.
Wow,
Hey.
what a celebration!
Yeah,
you saw
we
them
lost.
lose.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's okay.
Amazing.
It's all right.
I'm
Still
so
a good
happy.
time, though.
Yeah. Wow, Michael Chandler. I should have told Chandler. I forgot.
We
I
had
blew
somebody
that one.
rooting for him here in the
I
back.
blew that one. Yeah, it was just great. I mean, it was just such great analysis.
When you put me on the spot, I mean.
Anything you want to say about John Jones coming back or the
God.
welterweight mess?
No, I'm gonna play your music.
What about
How's
Dana
that?
versus Oscar? Anything you want to say about that feud?
Nah, I'll leave that to you two. You two have fun with that one.
Oh my, Dana versus Oscar, what a mess that is, huh? I mean, I just love it. More fire out of Dana White over the past week than we've seen over the last 3 years.
He is definitely enthused. Oscar
He
has
loves
gotten
this.
him out of bed with this one. Absolutely.
perfect.
He's needed a rival, and now he's got
It's
one.
boxing. It's a fellow promoter.
Yeah.
Remember when they were all chummy when like Oscar would tweet out things like, can't wait for the pay-per-view.
Oscar was a
this
huge
weekend."
fan, yeah. Well, now he's on the other side of the fence. He's promoting himself.
Dana's
and
showing up to First Take with like a list of talking points.
no,
I came up with
Get
these.
Up, right? Or
He was
it
also on
Take?
First Take. Yeah, both. He made the rounds. It was like a whole media tour. Called up Kevin Aioli,
Look,
demanding drug
I have to
tests.
admit, I think Oscar's a little out of his depths with this one,
Yeah, I think it's fun.
but it's certainly getting attention. He needs to ride this wave. If he plans to continue this MMA stuff, and by all accounts from him, he does. This is a good way to get yourself attention. Well, I'm going based
Sure.
on what he said.
Right.
This is a good way to stay relevant in the MMA space.
I think it helped Oscar because he had the Canelo fight to promote.
Yeah, and now he has a topic to talk about
Sure.
besides the boxing side of things.
Okay, quick game of buy or sell because Jake's kicking us out because all of a sudden he's corporate Jake now. This is like when The Rock went from Rocky Maivia to corporate Rock. He's corporate Jake. He's walking back there with like a bow tie and a suit and everything. I mean, it's suffocating a little bit. Anyway, Cain Velasquez versus Francis Ngannou. You like it?
Bye.
You like it? Huh? For Francis?
Yeah, that's an opportunity for Francis to quickly erase the Stipe fight, to quickly erase the Lewis fight, and get back now 2 in a row, get back into the title picture. And for Cain, I think anybody, let's just see him back.
Oh,
so
man.
yeah,
Especially in Arizona, in
that'd
Phoenix.
be big.
Jose
yeah,
Aldo versus Renato Moicano.
Bye, because I think Moicano deserves that opportunity, and I think if he can get this done, he's in title shot contention. But I don't know how much it does for Aldo, so credit to him for taking on a young, tough contender.
I thought he might fight Donald Cerrone, who's fighting Alex Hernandez. Buy or sell that one. Cerrone told us he had a big fight. Remember?
I'm buying. I mean, these are all great fights, so you're
Sure.
leaving me little choice. There's not really a sell,
matchmaking,
but I buy that. But Donald Cerrone, Donald Cerrone versus Aldo would have been interesting.
That would have been.
I'm still buying this.
Zabit against Stevens.
Is there something between buy and sell? Like, meh?
Hedge. I don't know.
Sure, I'll buy it. Because again, much like I was talking about with Cain, I just want to see Zabit fight again. It seems like he's been snake bitten with getting opponents and actually getting in the cage. So let's see it.
Okay, one more. Diego Sanchez, Mickey Gall.
Yeah.
Bit of an age gap there, right?
I
I wanted to see Mickey against Platinum Perry.
They did a good job selling that,
Yeah.
but this is, I mean, didn't Mickey specifically call out Sanchez? Didn't he ask
Yeah,
for
yeah,
Sanchez?
yeah.
So I have to buy the man who makes the call out. Mickey's been good at that.
Robin Van Roosmalen is making his way over to mixed martial arts.
I can speak very.
Yeah, sure you can. Unfortunately, Jake says we have
Intelligently.
no more time. One is signing with Turner. John Jones has been cleared by the California State Athletic Commission. There's a technical issue on Brock Lesnar's USADA test.
Yeah.
UFC is back on TSN and RDS. That means they're well in the ESPN family because, we're all part of the same network.
And BT Sport.
BT Sport.
As well.
Yes, who's also part of the family.
Yeah.
Sabina Mazo signing with the UFC, the LFA Women's Flyweight channel. And did I tell you that on December 31st, we are going to be live from 9 p.m. Eastern Time to 12 a.m. Eastern Time, counting down the new year on ESPN2, giving out awards. And we're going to be joined by a lot of exciting people. Next week, though, December 24th, what do we got?
We've got the best of show,
yes,
as people have come to expect around the holiday time.
Yes,
from us. We'll be looking back at the best of this half year, starting when we came over to ESPN in June. You were bold enough to say that it was the best half year in show history.
I mean, everyone throws out hyperbole. Why can't I?
I will agree with you.
All right.
We had a who's who as we are wont to do.
We had every UFC champion.
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
Real quick, the bets.
Yes.
I have one.
Okay.
It's easy.
For 232?
It's not going to take long. Yes. 232. John Jones, minus 280. Chris Cyborg, minus 250. Parlay those two. That's it.
That's
the
it?
bet.
That's
it.
you going out on a limb?
I didn't say I was going out on a limb.
That's your holiday pick?
It pays...
The two favorites, the two greatest of all time?
It pays 9 to 10. So for every
mean?
10, you get 9.
Oh, that's not bad.
It's almost 1-to-1.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the parlay. Look, it was better. John Jones opened as a smaller favorite, which I was surprised by.
Wow.
Minus 190. So anyway, that's it. It's easy.
Okay.
If you're feeling frisky, maybe Kat Zingano too. Minus 135.
Jake, anything you want to say? Nothing?
Yeah, happy holidays.
That's it? That's all you got? Wow. I mean, really. Everyone tells us about the crust first movement, about the post show, and here we have the man, Corporate Jake, bringing us down.
Another WWE reference, the man, dropping her match at
How about them featuring us all over the place? YouTube, Twitter. I mean, really. I was honored.
Big time.
I feel like I'm a character now at WWE.
That's not.
I mean, I helped put together the Brock Taker fight or match or whatever that thing is. And now they're using me to help put over the man.
You got to talk to Heyman and get in there.
Would be nice. It has been fun, my friend. I won't say, have a great year and all that stuff because I'm going to see you December 31st.
Correct.
I'm wearing a tux. Are you?
We'll see.
All right. Well, I am. And I can't wait. It's going to be December 31st, one more time, live on ESPN2, LIVE Live. And we're going to have all kinds of guests. It's going to be a great time. Please do join us. For now, we shall say goodbye. Thank you very much to all our guests today. Edson Barbosa, Kevin Lee, Jessica Rose Clark, Iaquinta, Colby Covington, Ilima-Lei Macfarlane, Michael Chandler, Dominic Cruz, and thank you very much to Vitor Belfort for coming in studio. What a huge honor that was, right?
Legend.
Amazing.
The young dinosaur.
We're out of time. We are back next week with the Best of show, and then in 2 weeks for our award show in prime time. We'll see you then. Much love. Happy holidays.